Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Timberborn, part 26 in our Emberpelts series, where we are just going to jump right into speeding things along here. This is a lot of work here in about the first 4 minutes of the video. In total, over 10 hours, maybe 11 and a half hours of just having dirt blocks placed and some platforms now and then. I wanted to get the aqueduct completely connected so that it went down all 3 levels the way it's designed, and build out all 3 levels that are elevated in the district. And so that was just, it was just a lot of work waiting on blocks to be placed more than anything. It's always a situation of getting platforms in so that they can build the blocks, but then they've got to get up to those platforms, and then they've got to be able to get on top of the platforms. And so there is a lot that goes into it, that you build some temporary structures to get them up there, and then have to tear those down because now those temporary structures are in the way of completing your work. All of that gets cut out, and what I've done for this intro is basically we're looking at every 4th or 5th day for the most part. There are some places where a lot gets done in consecutive days, and in those they're in there, but I don't remember which ones are which. Before I sped this all up, it was about 25 minutes long. So it gives you an idea of how much game time has been compressed. So not only was it the 11, maybe 12 hours even, that I then chopped down into like 25 minutes, then we sped it up 1,000% like I always do. But I'm very pleased with how everything came together. You can see that the aqueduct is now connected to the aqueduct that rings the district here. So we had the big main aqueduct from the storage tank from the District 1 that has a waterfall dropping in. You can see it up there in the top right. And then we've just got an aqueduct that goes around, drops down a level, comes back around, drops down a level, and then comes back around and then drops again to where it empties out into what I guess we can call ground level. You can see that there is an arid section down the middle of each level, and I'm not really worried about it. It's only 2 tiles wide, and that's where I wind up putting in all of the buildings that the workers work in. So the farmers, the lumberjacks, the foresters, all of that good stuff winds up getting placed in those arid areas, so we don't really lose any land. It adds up to be about the total of a 10 by 10 area anyway. So essentially we're just dedicating a 10 by 10 area to the work buildings, which is, that's what we would have used even if the whole thing was fertile. So it's not that big of a deal. That's not to say that the aqueduct and the system is not without issues. There was a bit of flooding and some other things that I have to address. Mainly the main reservoir can't supply enough water to keep everything irrigated during droughts and during bad tides. But I have a solution for that we'll see in the next couple weeks that works really well. But as night begins to fall and the workday comes to an end and they put the final touches on the back end of the very tip-top tier, we're going to move into some live gameplay. So with all of that completed, even though I haven't edited that part of the video yet, I'm recording this after without having edited it yet. Anyways, I have laid out something that I've been talking about for a long time. We are down between the 2 halves of the districts, the tiered sections, just in front of the housing, and I've always talked about this being a big giant park. Well, that is what I have laid out, is a big giant park, complete with some of our monuments in the middle to really boost up the aesthetic score. And I realized there's an opportunity here, and I kind of, it's really hard to see in here. I kind of wish I had, how I have the platforms here, I wish I had done it on this side as well, but it didn't. That's okay, because what I'm thinking we could do is get a little extra decoration in here by putting just a couple of these. I know it's kind of repetitious to have the same thing over and over, but I'm okay with it. The only thing is I don't believe they'll be able to reach down to get to those. Yeah, I'm going to have to build temporary ladders for them to get up to all those. That's fine. Man, they're moving quick on all this. Granted, there's tons of builders, so of course they are. I think they'd be able to get to it from just 2 ladders, actually. So I'm just going to do 2 on the rest of these. I think that's where that needs to go. And that one there, and then back up to here. So you would think after getting all of these 2 sections in, making room for crops and trees, that's what we would focus on. I've already planted the trees. That side's done. We've got a little extra space back here to do something with. But I figured since we're going to be getting into some construction and everything, get the trees planted, let them mature, and have them available. So the top is oaks. The next level down is oaks. Next level down is apple trees down the middle, and then back here. This side is maple. This side is pine. And then back all the way to the bottom where those apple trees were, we ripped them out, and this is all oaks as well. So we have 3 levels that are just oaks producing lumber, and you can see that I cleared out the trees back here. For the most part, I replanted some, and then removed the planting so they would just drop seedlings all on their own, and same up there, and I did the same thing like over here and back over here, just to try to get just some natural looking forests going again. So yeah, the name of the game today is going to be housing and recreation, because I really want to get this district's recreation and aesthetic scores up, because they've been struggling for quite some time to, you know, just have anything that helps them with their well-being. So that is what I want to get done. But first I want to have this park finished, just because I want to admire it. So I think what we're going to do is just jump cut to the park being completed, and then we'll look at housing and other recreation. And as the sun sets and another workday wraps up, I just thought we'd sit here for a second and admire this. It's not quite 100% finished. I think there's like 1 or 2 shrubs, and I need to put another set of ladders in because there's one of the fire pits that they can't reach. But they're actually coming over here and using it. They're going through the maze. It was really fun watching them build that, going through the maze, because they built the shrubs first, and then they put everything in. So just watching a conga line of beavers go in and out through there was kind of cool. But they're coming over. They're using the contemplation spot. They're using the scratcher. The campfire is getting used. It's being used. I don't know if that'll stay true once we have more recreational options available in this district, but for now they're using it. And there are some sporadic little birch seedlings spread throughout, so that they too will kind of grow in. And then like back here there's like a couple oak trees, but they won't really spread because there's nowhere for them to go. But we're gonna get rid of these ladders. Yeah, ladders. They are ladders. I almost said stairs. Gonna get rid of those. Gonna get rid of those. And then this one they couldn't walk across because it is a triple high, so they couldn't get under there. So we're just gonna give them another set right there. They should be able to then reach up from right there and get that. And we're gonna mark that debris as priority, just so it gets picked up. Hopefully they got the debris from the other ladders picked up. But I dig the park. You know what? I think it's pretty great. Seems that this one's more popular than this one, and this one has the tail detailer. But we've also got a lot of other tail detailers. So we are going to now come back here. This area has been cleared out. Essentially what I want to do is move this housing back to like here. And then that way we can have like another little courtyard there, and then we'll have recreation. And then if we need more housing, we'll have space for it here. I don't know how much we're going to need, but for now we are going to have some beavers homeless, and I have to do this, whoops, after they've gotten up and hopefully gone out, if I start deleting the houses, they get stuck up on top. I know that because it happened several times when I was doing things over here with all of this housing. By the way, you probably noticed there are clock towers, or clocks everywhere on top of the two-way stations. I just thought it made a nice little addition. So, no beavers there. Beavers there, no beavers there. Here they wouldn't get stuck, so it's okay. And then here they won't get stuck because, well, there's nowhere for them to get stuck. And now we've got a lot of stuff saying that it's disconnected. And we do have a few stranded beavers, but I can take care of that pretty quick. We can just come here with a two-way and then just, nope, throw in a tiny two-way station there, just temporary measures. But we're going to delete everything that's here and rethink this whole area. This is something I built between videos. And I've never really been happy with this. I mean, it's kind of a cool little courtyard that's in there, but it's just really, I don't know, it's a little too compact and just a little too crammed in there, in my opinion. So I definitely want to do something different over here. So, gonna let them get this two-way station in. See if I can get up to 3 times speed. It was lagging pretty bad. Yeah, 3 times is not an option for us any longer. So we'll do 2. We'll get this two-way station in. We'll get these 3 stranded beavers out of here, and then we'll tear the rest of this down. There we go. Two-way station in. Gonna slow things back down, and then continue deleting a bunch of stuff. And I think that beaver was headed over there. Oh, and I've stranded some more. You know what though? If I delete this, will they just go ka-chink down to the ground? Okay, let's hope that doesn't tear down any housing. Yeah, they do just go ka-chink down to the ground. So this is where I'm just kind of stuck with what I built. If I delete that platform, actually, if I delete that platform, is that going to cause a leak? Yeah, because it would get rid of that right there. So I can't delete the platform, but I can get rid of, I thought I saw a highlight more than I can get rid of that for now. I think I might want to redo these two ways out here as well. I don't know that we're going to need this landing, so for now, let's get rid of that stack. And again, be very careful that I don't delete the platform, because that will cause major problems for lots and lots of beavers. So this is just a platform here to get over some water that's right there. I don't know if they're going to be able to clean up this debris. I'm going to let them try to clean up as much of the debris as possible and see what happens. I think I'm okay with these contemplation spots just staying there. We might replace them with something else, but I doubt it. While they're getting that debris cleaned up, I want to come up here now and do this right here. Another set here, and I think another set right there. Yeah, that works. And then in behind here, I want to just do some decorations, probably very repetitive, but it'll be okay. Let's do a levee and a levee, and then we'll do the same thing down here, a levee and a levee, and then we will go into our decorations. I want a beaver bust on each of these. These are going to hold some of our, I can't remember what it's called now, rooftop terraces. And I think it'll look pretty doggone nice. So if I do shrubs, do I want to do a shrub or a light? I think I want to do both. So let's do shrub on one side and light on the other. I think this is the side that's more likely to have beavers walking on it. So we'll do a light on each of these. And then I need to let them get all of that built before I go any further. Actually, I don't need lights there because I remember now. I set this back so I can have a light by the entrance. Yeah, cool. So yeah, we need to let them get that going before I start putting the rooftop terraces in. If I put them in, I'm afraid they won't be able to get to this middle bit because they'll build the rooftop terrace first. Yeah, it looks like this is all logs, and logs aren't quite full, so I'm just going to leave the debris for now. Speaking of debris, I'm sure they were able to, yeah, they were able to get this other fire thingy in. I still can't remember how to pronounce that word, so I just don't say it. Because I know it's not how I think it would be. By the way, let's bring this down and just kind of look at this. Ooh, not that far. Granted, you lose kind of the effect of a lot of it, but I dig that, like, it's all lined up, the two districts on each other. I really do. By the way, I don't know if you saw it. Yeah. I don't even notice this, but when beavers go up the tubeways, sometimes if they're at just the right distance, it'll animate the beaver going to the tubeway, even though you can't see the tubeway. So you see beavers flying through the air, and it's awesome. So how far did they get up here? Not very. So let's get the decorations in, and I'm wondering if I shouldn't even do like another set of these, just because this district has so many beavers. I mean, we can put them in other places too, but we've got a lot of beavers. We're going to need a lot of recreation, so I think that's not a bad idea to maximize this. And I think I'm going to do one more here and here and do something a little different on these. Go out like that, and then I'm going to come in with dirt blocks like right there, and then same here, so like that, and yeah, this one too, I forgot. So then do that, that, and then back down to this side again. Do that, and then we're gonna use stairs for these. Stairs there, there, and there, and then up here we do campfires because those will be under. And I kind of dig it. And it just, you know, we've got a bad tide. We've got this waterway that, you know, they can't go down in it because they don't like getting wet. So we may as well use it for something. Right? That's kind of my opinion. That it needs to be used. So here I can start putting in the lights because that won't prevent them from building anything because of the ladders and all of that good stuff. And then we'll just repeat our shrubberies. Cool, so that's a little project for them to get done. So I think we will just watch a bit of this happen here for a moment. Alright, cool, so that has a big part of that done. We can now start putting in some of our rooftop terraces, since they've got a big portion of it done, on these at least. You know, it probably would help to actually indicate what's going to go on these sections back here, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. So, just want to do the same thing that I did a moment ago. I know it's repetitious, but I kind of like that they're the same. I can't really, like, describe why that's how I like it, but it's how I like it. So it's how we're going to do it. I got lost. There we go. And then down here, I need to do the same thing. Nope, not right there. Okay, and then there and there, and now we need some busts. That there, and that right like that. Beautiful. And then up here we need pathway. I may as well go ahead and just put that pathway in too, because we're going to have it eventually. Excellent. So, once they get those little middle bits built, then I can start building everything else. So down here, come on, game. There we go. I want a light and a light, and I can build these lights. They're not going to block anything. It'll be fine. So I just want to go a light on every corner here. And on this other side, instead of doing the shrubs again, we're going to switch to the brazier. I think that's how you say it. And they'll be able to build that because they can get in to all those different areas without any issue. It's just that little bit right there in the middle that they can't do. Cool. So I'm now going to return back to thinking about housing, because we do have 136 homeless beavers, and that's just not nice. So this is in by 1. Come on, game. There we go. And so that means this goes in by 1, and then we need something in the middle to fill that space. And this back end is going to come up higher slightly than up there. So basically what I want to do is see, when did I start coming in? And it was after that very first level that we stepped in a section. So this is already now 1 higher up than that. And we are going to duplicate it back here. Oh, I just screwed that up, didn't I? Sure did. We're just gonna, there we go, put that in, put that in, put that in, and then get the little ones in the middle. Excellent. That's gonna give us lots and lots of housing. What it doesn't give us yet, though, is two-way access. I need to see where that's gonna happen, because I'm pretty sure we're crossing water. No? Maybe. We might be. I can't quite tell exactly. I put my finger right there. Yeah, that's going to be in the water. Okay. That's fine. We can deal with that. Yeah, it's going to be right under the water, so we're going to need to do levees on that portion. Okay, so what I want to do is kind of do the same type of situation, but maybe make it a little better this time than what we have over here, how we did it, because, you know, here we did the walkway entrances and all that stuff, and I can't really change it, because that, if I wanted to get rid of it, is what's holding up that column, and we've already, or not column, but overhang, and we've already established if I delete that, we cause big problems elsewhere. I could get rid of that, but there's really no point. But what I want to do is just put in a single tube-way station, like right up, like right here, to kind of mirror where that entrance is, just like that, one on each side, and that will be the primary connection. And then we just need to start going down and see where we need to do what. I think we can get away with just regular two-way tunnels on this first bit. I can't, because there's nothing below it. So I'd have to go down here and build this tube-way first, but I don't have a way to get down there. Okay, so come back up, look straight down, so I know I'm going in the right spot. So that's going to be a tube-way. So now will let me tunnel because that's below it. Yes, good. Cool. And then I'm not worried about the water here. It's here that I need to worry about the water. And this is where I need to switch to the levees. So we go one more down, and then the water ends right there. So the rest of these are safe, being just regular two-way tunnels, I believe. Hopefully I'm not about to flood everything. And then this should be lined up, but I'm just going to come back up here and ensure that this is indeed coming at the same spot here. So again, we want to go to start with just a regular tube-way, find where that needs to sit, then come back up one with a tube-way tunnel, and then go down below it with the two-way levee tunnel. There we go. And then I'm just going to go back a couple just to be safe. I think that'll be fine, and then the rest of these can be like that. And they should be able to start working on that as well, since it's underground. So that will get some housing in. Whoa, where are we? Come back. But they're still working on this project. Granted, we're only at single speed because I'm building, and, well, you know, things are getting laggy because, as always, I've, you know, built this ridiculously huge project, and it's impossible to place things. It just is if I'm on the top speed, so we're not going to do that. So this doesn't have to be identical. Like, I don't have to replicate it one for one. In fact, I don't even want to try because, you know, we've got the levees and stuff like that in there, which does beg the question, if I want this to be a little bit taller, and we've got basically 4 blocks of levees here, that essentially will have this section already, you know, consumed, essentially, which we don't want. I just realized we may still need to use some of these yet, because I don't think the tiny two-way station can make an entrance into there. So we may have to still use some of our walkway entrances and walkway two-way connections. Oh no, we'll look at it in a second once I get this next line of housing up here. So we will, okay, that worked out, but I thought I had lagged. We will continue going up here, but I don't know that I want to go that tall. So what we might want to do is switch here, and this will give us a little bit of extra elevation. Boy, not by much. And then we can switch again and bring this. Okay, so this is where I need to switch to this house. Yeah, that's where we need to switch to that house. Actually, no, we're gonna do something I think will look a little better. We're gonna use this taller one just to get, yeah, there we go. So that's about the same elevation now. So then if I come up here with these to cap it off, I believe that is now standing just a little bit taller. Yeah, and that's, I don't want it to be significantly taller, just a skosh. So I know that if we get them in to this building, we do need to use that, because they can't get in from that tubeway. Yeah, tubeway station will get them in and out of the tubeway, but that won't get them in and out of the building. Okay. That's fine. So this just changes things a little bit. So how did we do that over here? Like, get back. So it comes up and then into it. Okay, so I may need to rethink where the two ways are going to be. Nah, it'll be fine. Do this right here. Come on, game. I know I have built a ridiculous number of things and pushed you beyond what you're supposed to do, but it's kind of my thing. So then that will eventually connect. That will eventually connect, and that'll get them a connection in and out right there. And then I guess I could just put, I could either do a two-way station here, or I could do the walkway entrance like here. Either way, it works. I think I want to do the walkway entrance just to kind of make it look the same, I guess. Plus, that'll give me something I can build off of as we come up. So then we want to just stack up here like that. And then have another one of these going like that to get them in and out. And I know, again, they'll be able to go, they can travel between the houses, but I like it to at least look like there's a connection. If not for every single floor, at least for every single major portion. I just think it looks better. I don't think everyone agrees with me on that, because I do get comments telling me, you know, you don't have to do that. Well, I know I don't have to. But if I did things just because I had to, there's a lot of stuff I would never do. So cool. Then we can... Yeah, I don't know exactly where that entrance is going to be just yet, so I'm going to hold off on that idea. So now I can't remember. Can those go out the top or not? I don't remember. So here, what did I do? I did a two-way connection up there and had the two-way come up and then over it. Okay. All right, that works. So we continue up like this. Right here. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. If I can see what in the world I'm doing. Hello? My mouse. Then we just need connection there. Connection there. And this will also help them get up here and build it anyway, so it's not all totally just lost here. So we may as well, while we're on this with the connection selected, just plop those down as well. And then jump down here and bring this up. Come on, you can do this. Am I gonna have to pause to build this? I hope not. I hope we haven't reached that stage yet. I mean, I know it's coming, but oh, that one didn't. There. Cool. That is a huge, huge housing project. And I think it may be the last thing that gets accomplished today is because we're having to go so slow. Which is unfortunate. It means less and less is going to get done in every video, but what are you going to do? There's not much you can really do about it other than, you know, because even here at 2 times speed, this is pretty jank at times. Like 3, if I go up to there, it'll run fine for a second usually, but then yeah, just goes. Yeah, I think, you know, the upgrade to 4K definitely worth it. However, it does mean that we run into this problem a little bit earlier. I don't think this is actually GPU stuff. I think this is more a CPU limitation. Not that my CPU is a slouch, but it's definitely struggling. So let's let them get this built, and then we'll see what our time is looking like on the video. And there we go. The big housing tower is complete. Let's take a look at what we have for population here. So, okay, cool. Yeah, this should help us considerably. Yeah, we've jumped quite a few beavers. We were at 600 and something. Now we're at 700 between the 2 districts. This one has 461, 127 beds open, and 146 babies. That should be plenty. Plenty for all the jobs that we're going to add. Though there are 42 jobs not filled over here. I bet that's all builders' huts for the most part. Yep, it's all builders' huts. So not a big deal. So cool. We've got a lovely new park. We've got some recreation up here in both campfires, rooftop terraces, and we have our new housing. And next time we'll be able to start on this area here for a lot of fun recreation. But I think we're going to leave it here. We're going to switch back over to our park because I just really dig it. I think it looks phenomenal. And we'll leave it right here for the outro, watching everybody use the park because of course they are. And until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.